Good morning, YouTubians. It's Kermit's Ghost, and we are doing the S's at long last. There are near on 400 of these. I've got a pile of near on 30, and there's like 12 piles. So strap yourself in, get yourself a cup of tea or beer or something, some nibbles, and we'll do this in one, hopefully, while the sun's still shining. Crack on. Arnold Schwarzenegger in Sabotage. I thought this was a great film. You've got Sam a bold Sam Worthington in this. It's the story of corrupt DEA agents that they cross the line a little bit too much. The female DEA agent in this is horrifying. And I like the woman that comes in to investigate them. The short dark hair. Great film. Sabrina. Humphrey Bogart, Audrey Hepburn, William Holden. Classic. Ooh. Good start, wasn't it? Sabrina, this is the remake with Harrison Ford. And now, before you go out and start ordering this, I ordered this from Germany. This is the only place you can get it on the planet at the moment. And they only went ahead and took away the English audio. So this is in German only. You can have German subtitles, but it's no good to me because I don't speak that well German. But I'm keeping it because it's a constant reminder for me to keep looking up to see when it will be available. I love this film, love it. So I'm keeping that. That one and Rainmaker from the R's both removed the English audio for some reason. Very annoying. Jason Statham, Safe. That's a good little film. Good little film. Safe House. This is before Ryan Reynolds started getting on my nerves. I like this. Denzel Washington. Ryan Reynolds is it an FBI agent or CIA agent? CIA agent, and he is in charge of looking after Denzel Washington, who was a criminal, taking him to a safe house. Denzel Washington is being hunted down. Safety Not Guaranteed. This is a great true time travel film. I say true. It is based on true events. And I'll just read you a quick snippet on the back. There's a newspaper cutting, and this is what it was advertised, and this is what the film is based on. It says, wanted someone to go back in time with. This is not a joke. You will get paid after we get back. You must bring your own weapon. I've only done this once before. Safety not guaranteed. You need to watch this. Great film. Sahara, I enjoyed this film. Well, I enjoy all the films, to be fair, so I'm not going to say that it's a great film. Sahara, Matthew McConaughey, Steve Zahn, and Penelope Cruz. A great sort of hark back to like 50s cinema, where you got the. I actually got a prop from this film. I should have shown it. One of the coins. Yeah, there's treasure hunting. Good old film. Good old action treasure hunting film. Salmon Fishing in the Yemen. Not greatest of titles, but it's a really good film. It's a rom-com of sorts. You've got Emily Blunt, Ewan McGregor, Kristen Scott Thomas. I saw this at the cinema. It's a very good film. Very good. Give it a go. Don't judge it just on the title. Salmon Fishing in the Yemen. They could have come up with a better one than that. Salt. This has alternate cuts, an extended version, like a theatrical version, and all the rest of it. Great action film. I thought Red Sparrow was going to be more like this. If you want to watch an action film, Russian and like a bit like Black Widow kind of thing, don't go Red Sparrow. Go this one, Salt. Much better. Angelina Jolie is in that. And who's the guy who's chasing her down? Lee Schreiber. Very good. Chiwetel Ejiofor is also in that as well. Saludos amigos. This is a Disney classic number 6. You're probably shouting to yourself, this isn't even out yet. Yes, it is. You can get it through the Disney Movie Club as a double release. Saludos amigos and 3 Caballeros. I have 2 copies of this, so there'll be one in a tease as well. So they have their own case. I made this case because I want all the Disney Classics ones to line up with the numbers. Eventually, when I get them all together, when they get around to releasing the Black Cauldron and others. Samson, story of Samson. There you go. Rutger Hauer's in this. Billy Zane. Billy Zane, I think he was from Titanic. He played Cal. San Andreas. Yeah, the San Andreas fault in America. It obviously cracks open, disaster. This should have been a Roland Emmerich film, because very Roland Emmerich type film. 3D is amazing in this. The helicopter scene when it's gone over rescuing the car at the start, phenomenal. And the kids in this are not annoying. It's a good action end of world days film. Very good. Sanctum 3D, James Cameron. I've not seen the 3D version. I've only seen it in 2D, so I really need to get on and watch the 3D, because it's very sort of claustrophobic, down sort of potholing and cave dwelling sort of things. Very good, very, very good film. Be interested to see how 3D translates. Sandlot, good old fashioned baseball kids, sort of growing up in the 80s. No, it's not the 80s, is it? They're growing up. Is it the 80s it's set in, or was it just made in the 80s? I think it's a little bit later than that. It's just after, I think it's 70s. Could be 70s or 80s. You've got James Earl Jones as the mean neighbour, the big dog. It's a really nice film. And although it says Region A locked, it is not. It is Region 3. Love that film, Sandlot. Sand Pebbles. This is Steve McQueen and Dickie Attenborough. A quick sip, or you look at that. Yes, Santa Claus, the movie. This is a fun film. Dudley Moore as an elf who's sort of unappreciated, or he thinks he is, so he goes off and does his own thing, gets in touch with a ruthless toy maker, like a corporate bloke. What's his name? I'm going to quickly look for his name. Jonathan Lithgow. Plays a really good villain. Very Christmassy. Very Christmassy. You'll love that. Santa Claus, another great Christmas film. Tim Allen as Santa Claus. He effectively kills Santa and takes his place. Resistance is obviously on his mind. He doesn't want to be Santa. His son does. His son's a bit annoying in this, but overall very good Christmas film. Judge Reinhold is in that as well. Sausage Party. This came with a slip with like a bun. I don't know why they just didn't put the bun on the cover as well. Saw it. This is so outrageous. I love this film. The homage to Saving Private Ryan with the food, the guts hanging out. It's just great. It's just wildly inappropriate, but so funny. So funny. Savages. We'll crack on. Saving Mr. Banks. Emma Thompson. She plays. Is it P.L. P.L. Travers, who wrote Mary Poppins, and she really didn't want it to be made by Disney, but Disney sort of over years and years of negotiating finally got to make the film of the book. Tom Hanks plays Walt himself, Walt Disney. It's a beautiful film, and the Sherman brothers in this, their talent is just amazing. Sherman brothers. Saving Private Ryan. Now you've got Private Ryan, played by Matt Damon, and his brothers have all been killed in the war, so unbeknownst to him, so Tom Hanks has been charged with getting a crew together and going and finding him and giving him his discharge papers, because you can't wipe out an entire family in a conflict. So that is the basis of the story. It's a journey of Tom Hanks trying to get to Matt Damon. Great film. Great film. Saw, it's the only one I have, the Saw franchise. I've seen like 1 to 4 at cinema, and I gave up on them, but I love the first one. Great twist. Say Anything, rom-com with iconic scene. John Mahone's in that as well, very good. Scanner Darkly. This film is it was shot live, and then is it rotoscoped, where they just put the animation over the actors. Sort of groundbreaking at its time. Saw this at the cinema. Winona Ryder's in this. Keanu Reeves, obviously, Robert Downey Jr., Woody Harrelson, and someone else, Rory Cochrane. I don't know. So Richard Linklater. That's the name, isn't it? Richard Linklater. One of his films. All his films kind of make it to Criterion, I believe, but this is very good, very, very good. Let's pause it there. Get next part. Scarecrow, Gene Hackman. This was a recent release with Al Pacino. Two people that are sort of hard on their luck. One got out of prison and he's trying to make a means of his own business with a car wash. The other one is back from sea, trying to see his son. This is a 1973 release from the H&B Premium line. Scarface. Scavengers. Scent of a Woman. Al Pacino again playing a blind man, and who's the guy? Chris O'Donnell, you know, Robin. He is his like guide. Sort of resistance at first, forms a great friendship in the end. Schindler's List. A difficult watch, but a must watch. I love this film. Ralph Fiennes, he was voted the most psychotic eyes or something, or psychopathic eyes that year because of his portrayal as a Nazi. He was just an evil bugger, but it's a really, really good watch. School for Scoundrels. This was remade with John Heder, but this is the original with Terry Thomas, Alistair Sims, and other people. School for Scoundrels. I believe this is now a TV show. Jack Black. He becomes a school teacher by misleading the school because it's supposed to be someone else taking the job, but he sort of took his place, if you like. He's just doing it for his own means and benefits, and he sort of coerces all the kids to make a rock band, and it's a great film. You got Joan Cusack in this, and the song at the end is brilliant. I must get that downloaded. Love that song. Scooby-Doo. The Score. Very good heist movie, but it's been proven the technique they used was flawed. But a good De Niro and Edward Norton release. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Nerd Incorporated did a review of this, very good. It's an Edgar Wright film, great editing, love Edgar Wright's work, very good. Scream 1, or just Scream, Scream 2, 3, and 4. I've only seen the first one, so I need to get on them. Scrooge, love this story. This is it Seymour Hicks, this one? I think it is, yeah, Seymour Hicks. Love this story. I've got every possible version of this story, I believe, that's available on Blu-ray. Love it. And DVD, I've got hundreds of versions of that on DVD. And Scrooge, this is Albert Finney, and I believe Alec Guinness. Alec Guinness is in that as well. Scrooged, this is a modern at the time. Now it's a little bit dated because this was early 2000. No, 1988. This is a really good edition of the story, The Christmas Carol. Eddie Murphy playing Scrooge, and it's not. And the ghost of Christmas Present, the woman, she's really odd. She's really odd, but really compelling to watch. Scum, if you want to go and see this being unboxed, go to Randy Mole and Django, Shango and Randy Mole's show. There's a thing in my I'll put it up on the screen or something like that. They did an unboxing for this great film, absolutely brilliant. I did have it on another version, but I sold it at CEX this morning and got a tenner for it. So this really only cost me £8. Seabiscuit, Tobey Maguire, Jeff Bridges, Chris Cooper. That's an American import. Sea of Trees, Matthew McConaughey. This again is a German import. Searchers, Carlos, you'd be pleased, and you, Dan, from Physical Media for Life, and Eastwood for Life, Carlos, John Wayne, Searchers, Western, VistaVision, Searching. This is a very interesting film, all told through like computer screens and tablets and phone screens with text coming up, so you sort of get the story going along like that. Information-wise, a man's daughter goes missing, and it's all about him searching for her. It's very good, quite tense. Got my nerves at the start, but then when you get used to it, it's good. Ron Perlman and Nicolas Cage. What a great pairing that is. Season of the Witch. Second act. Only got this week. I've not had a chance to see it. Jennifer Lopez. Didn't get a UK release, so that's a German. No, that's not a German import. That's Scandinavian import. Second-hand lines, little Harry Joel Osment, the kiddie from Sixth Sense who saw dead people, goes to live with his two uncles, Michael Caine and Robert Duvall, and they're a little bit unconventional and sort of rough around the edges. Great film, coming of age sort of film. Pause it there, go and see the next pile. What was that? 2 piles down, 10 to go. Secret in Their Eyes, Shootout, Edge of 4, Julia Roberts, Nicole Kidman. Secret Life of Pets, the second one is out now. I don't think it's out to buy yet, but I will pick it up when the time comes. That's a 3D film, by the way. Secretariat, Disney film, based on a true story. Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I like this film. My wife hated this film. She thought it was absolutely boring as hell. You got is it? Oh, it's not Tina Fey, is it? What's her name? Christian Wiig. Christian Wiig. Sean Penn. Sean Penn's really good in this. And I'm not a big fan of Sean Penn, but I really liked him in this film. And of course, you've got Ben Stiller. Brilliant. Love it. Secret Man. This goes under a different title. It's the German release. On the UK on DVD, it's called, I think it's The Man Who Brought Down the White House. And also in America, it got a Blu-ray release, The Man Who Brought Down the White House. Secret Man in Germany. Political, I say thriller, but it's not really a thriller. It's quite a slow burn. Liam Neeson. It's not for everybody. It's a political film. Secret of My Success. What an ugly looking cover that is. I'm in the process of making my own cover for this because that's just hideous. That's an insult on the eyes. Great Michael J. Fox film though. Secret People. This is Audrey Hepburn. Secret Window. This is a good Johnny Depp film. You should go back and make more films like this. Seeking a Friend for the End of the Earth. This has got the End of the World. Sorry. This is Steve Carell, Keira Knightley. Got a great soundtrack in this film. Love it. And it's all about the end of the world and making the most of what time you have left. A lesson we should all learn. Selfless. I believe this is one with Ryan Reynolds where someone's memories and thoughts are downloaded into a body. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Selma, that deals with Martin Luther King and the riots. Sense of a Beginning, of an Ending. Jim Broadbent. Sentinel. This is another political film of sorts. It's Michael Caine. It's going to be a bit of a spoiler, so put your fingers in your ears. Now, Michael Douglas is having an affair with the First Lady, played by Kim Basinger, and he's being framed for like an assassination attempt or of the president, or like a terrorist event on the president. So they're trying to get him out of the picture. At the same time, you have Kiefer Sutherland and a new agent, Eva Longoria, because he works for the Secret Service. Michael Douglas. So you got Kiefer Sutherland, who also works for the Secret Service, but like an investigational side of it. They're trying to hunt down Michael Douglas because he's gone rogue to try and clear his name. It's a good action-y kind of film. Action, investigation type of film. Soul Station, this is the prequel to Train to Busan. Seraphim Falls. That is Liam Neeson and Pierce Brosnan again. Serendipity. John Cusack, Kate Beckinsale. Story of love and getting to meet for the first time under unusual circumstances. Like buying a pair of gloves in their case. Serenity. This was based, I think, on Firefly. Never saw the TV show, but I really enjoyed this film. Got Adam Baldwin, Summer Glau. Is that how you say her name? Summer Glau? Summer Glue? I don't know. Shootout, Edge of 4. And Nathan Fillion. Very good. I must actually watch the TV show, because if it's anything like that, it's very good. Sergeant Rex. This does have another name, but life of me, I cannot think what it is. True story, German release. Didn't get a UK release. Kate Mara, who was in Shooter and other things. Just a really good. She's injured at war, and so's a dog, and so they're both like being treated for injury. But the dog gets better, and they want to send him back into combat, but she has to retire. So she's just trying to get ownership back of the dog because they sort of grew up together. It's a really good film. Serial Mom. The Sessions. Setup, Bruce Willis and 50 Cent. Sevi, the story of Sevi Ballesteros, the golfer. 7, a brilliant Brad Pitt film, probably Brad Pitt's best film. Yeah, I'd say best film. Morgan Freeman, probably his second best. I put Shawshank a little bit ahead of this. 2 police officers, well, detectives. Morgan Freeman's about to retire. Brad Pitt is about to take over his position. Meanwhile, you've got a serial killer killing people in the vein of the 7 deadly sins, and played brilliantly. A serial killer is played perfectly by Kevin Spacey. Just fantastic. He's only in it for a few minutes, but he's fantastic in it. Gwyneth Paltrow plays Brad Pitt's wife. Great film. I'm not going to give anything away in case you haven't seen it, but watch that one. That is a must. It's very gritty and grimy because it rains, I think, throughout the entire film. David Fincher film, so it's going to be dark. Okay, here we go. 7 Days in Utopia. I believe this has religious connotations in this. I've not watched it yet. It's an American import. Bobby Duvall. £7. A pretty decent Will Smith film. Not his best one, but this is sort of around about the time he started sliding as regarding sort of films. He's more suited to action, I think. Although Pursuit of Happiness was pretty good. 7 Psychopaths. 17 again with Matthew Perry from Friends and Zac Efron. Quite funny now. I do like the bloke who has all the money in this. I can't think what his name is. Not Leslie Mann, is it? No. Thomas Lennon? I don't know. His best friend, Matthew Perry's best friend in that, who has all the money and a bit of a geek. 1776. Seventh Sign. A great religious film, end of days kind of thing. Demi Moore. Who's the bloke in this? You got Michael Biehn. Peter Friedman. It's just a really good film. I've not seen this in many people's collections. I think only 80s film fans I've seen with that. Seventh Son. This is supposed to have a 3D release. I think it does in Germany, but it never got one in the UK. 7 Years in Tibet. Brad Pitt again. American import. Sex, Drugs and Rock and Roll. This is Andy Serkis playing Ian Dury, the biopic. Ray Winston's in that as well. Sex and the City. I didn't mind the film. I thought the films are pretty decent. Sex and the City 2. Never seen the TV show though, so I can't really sort of. You don't need to see the TV show to appreciate those. Sex Drive. One of those sort of sex comedies on the whenever it was, 90s, early 2000s. Sex Tape with Jason Segel and Cameron Diaz. I'm trying to get through these quite quick, there's so many of them, and I don't want the sun to disappear on me. Sex, we're in the sex. A lot of sex films. Sex, Lies and Videotapes. This is HMV Premium number 30 from 1989. Sexy Beast. Ray Winston. Ben Kingsley's in that as well, and Ian McShane from the new Hellboy films. Sergeant Bilko. Now, I used to watch the TV show Sergeant Bilko with Phil Silvers. Well, I didn't watch it with Phil Silvers. He was appearing on the show. Yeah, and this is the sort of Hollywood film of the TV show. Steve Martin plays Sergeant Bilko. You've got Dan Aykroyd in this and Phil Hartman. Got them in the end tonight. Shadow with Alec Baldwin. Shadow Dancer. Shaft. Richard Roundtree plays Shaft, the original, 1971, number 41. And then you have the sort of reimagining with Samuel Jackson. Who better to play it, really? Well, maybe Denzel Washington. Anyway, Shaft. Shakespeare in Love. Love this film. And you've got Dame Judi Dench there, who was only in the film for like 8 minutes, and she won the Oscar for the portrayal of Queen Elizabeth I. You've got a great cast in this. You've got Gwyneth Paltrow, who plays Joseph Fiennes' love interest. Joseph Fiennes plays a young Shakespeare. Geoffrey Rush is in this, Colin Firth and Ben Affleck. Just an excellent movie. Shall We Dance? I went to the premiere of this. Richard Gere turned up. Jennifer Lopez was supposed to, but she didn't, and neither did Susan Sarandon. Richard Gere got up and did a little chitty chat. before the film started. Stanley Tucci's in this, and he stills every scene that he's in with his wig and his teeth. Oh, just so funny. Shallow Grave, cautionary tale: if you find money, you know, hand it in. Hand it in. Don't do what these people did. It's a great film. Danny Boyle. Is it Danny Boyle? I'm pretty sure it's Danny Boyle. Yeah, Danny Boyle film. Shallow Hal. Would this be made today? Jack Black hates overweight women, so he goes to a hypnotist, and he sees Gwyneth Paltrow. In his eyes, she is like super slim, sexy, but in reality, she is overweight and not his type at all. But he falls in love with the overweight woman, thinking that she's thin, and you know, one of those. Shallows, Blake Lively. This is a really good shark film, really good. Sharks definitely got something in for her. I love the ending of that. Shanghai. This is a recent pickup. Not even opened it yet. With Hugh Bonneville and John Cusack. £2. Shaun the Sheep, the movie. What a one to finish on there. Okay, next pile. If you can hear a constant whir in the background, it is like an oven in this room. I've got the window shut because you can hear traffic, and I've got a fan whirring in right behind the camera. I've put the dead cat thing, what they call it, on the microphone, so you might not be able to hear it anyway. I digress. Shark Night 3D. Shaun of the Dead, one of the best zombie films going. Rom-com zom, is that what they call it? Yes, Edgar Wright again, part of the Cornetto trilogy. You have Simon Pegg. Simon Pegg. What am I saying? Sean. You have Simon Pegg and Nick Frost and a host of other people in this, including Bill Nye and just it's a big hark back to old zombie films. They say we're coming to get you, Barbara. You know, there's a hark back to those sort of films. Very good. Not doing it justice, but I've got to crack on. Sean. What's it with Sean? Shawshank Redemption. Morgan Freeman at his best plays Red. Quite a hard watching place, but a great payoff. Great payoff. Such a good film. It's quite a long film as well. It's got to be close to 3 hours. Got to be close to 3 hours. And there's me looking. It doesn't even say. Oh, yes, it does. 130. Oh no, it's only just over 2 hours. 138 minutes. 136 minutes. Very, very good. Love it. Every time that is on TV, I will stop and watch it. She's out of my league. She's the one. Shelter. Sherlock Holmes. Oh, love these films. These are Guy Ritchie, Robert Downey Jr. playing Sherlock Holmes, and then you've got Jude Law playing Watson. You've got Rachel McAdams as kind of like Robert Downey Jr.'s love interest, Mark Strong as the baddie. Just very, very good. Was Gerard Harris in this one, or was he in the next one? As Moriarty. I think he's in the second one. I think Stephen Fry's in this as well. As his brother. Can't think of the brother's name. But yes, Gerard Harris is in this one. Very good. I wish they'd make a third one. I love these films. Shin Godzilla. The Shining. This is the extended version. The regular version runs at... Don't tell me... okay, the theatrical version runs at 115 minutes. And this extended version runs at 144 minutes. There's quite a bit that was cut out. Shipping News, or The Shipping News. Kevin Spacey, Julianne Moore, Judi Dench again, and Cate Blanchett. Great cast on that one. Shock and Awe, political film with Woody Harrelson, Tommy Lee Jones, James Marsden, Rob Reiner. Shoot 'em Up. This is bizarre to say the least. He is shit up with a carrot, I tell you, this guy. Wrong place, wrong time. Some people are chasing a pregnant woman, and he intervenes, and he gets caught up in this big sort of turf war fighting and whatnot with Paul Giamatti as the crime boss, and he's like a thorn in his side. Just very, very good. Shooter. This is another film. That woman was in that I was saying. Kate Mara, good actress. Story of Mark Wahlberg is a sniper. He's on a mission early in the film. His partner gets killed because they're sort of discovered where they are. Cuts to a bit later, and the CIA or whoever they are, NSA, are asking for his advice, or could be Secret Service, asking for his advice because they have a credible threat on the president, so they want to know how he would go about doing it, so they can intercede this shooter. Anyway, they frame him for the murder because they're all sort of caught up in it, and he's got to prove himself innocent. It's a good film. Shape of Water, it's a bit of glare on that. Shape of Water, love this film. The guy in it who plays the fishy fella, Doug Jones, he was the one I was told by Nerd Incorporated. He told me he was Abe Sapien in Hellboy, and that's all I'm going to tell you. Creature from the Black Lagoon, it's all sort of all the same thing. Great film, and I love Sally Hawkins. So good. Michael Shannon's brilliant in this. Short Circuit. Where is Short Circuit 2? I know it's available in the US. I'm not getting a multi-regional player. It needs to come out in Europe or Australia. Shorts. Showgirls. Shrek, the first one in 3D. Don't have the others though. I must I? I don't know. Should I get the others? I don't know. Shrooms. This is a pretty decent horror film. Did it happen? Didn't it happen? Shut In. Naomi Watts. Shutter. This has got Joshua Jackson in it as a photographer. Something happens, and I'm not going to say what happened, but every time he takes a photograph, a ghostly images appears on the negatives or on the pictures themselves, and he's kind of being haunted. So you need to know why. Why is he being haunted? This is a German release, by the way. I'm pretty sure that's a remake of a Japanese horror film. Shutter Island. Great Leonardo DiCaprio film. I really enjoyed this film. It's got Ben Kingsley and Mark Ruffalo, and it's quite creepy. I love it. Love it. So, Siberia. Couldn't even see the letters in. Siberia. Keanu Reeves. Magnus, you sent me this in the trade. Thank you very much. Got to get around to watching it though. Keanu Reeves. Sicario. First one, I saw this one again. My wife hated this. Thought it was really boring. She fell asleep. I thought it was pretty good. Josh Brolin is in this. Benito del Toro, Emily Blunt. Don't think she returned for the second one. I quite enjoyed it. It wasn't what I was thinking, but I enjoyed it. And then bought the second one, so I need to get on and watch it. Josh Brolin's back. Benito del Toro's back. Benicio del Toro, should I say? Sicario 2. Pause it. Okay. Side effects. Sideways. Paul Giamatti, Thomas Hayden Church, couple of winos. Siege. This has got Denzel Washington, Annette Bening, and Bruce Willis. I like that cover. Not the greatest of films. Sightseers. Serial killers. Sightseeing. British horror, that one. Signs. Great film. I love this film. Mel Gibson. What's his name? Going to be the new Joker. Joaquin Phoenix, that was it. You have Kieran Culkin in this and Abigail Breslin as Mel Gibson's son and daughter. Alien invasion, quite creepy in places. The one on the roof, and when Joaquin Phoenix is in the cupboard watching them on TV. Creepy. Silence. Silence of the Lambs. That one, love it. Silent Hill. I used to have this on DVD. Had a much better cover. Don't like that cover. Silent Running. Huey and Louie. Was it Huey and Dewey? I can't remember. Silver Linings Playbook. Bradley Cooper and what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence. Robert De Niro's in that as well. Silverado. Yes, Calvin Klein. Danny Glover. Jeff Goldblum. John Cleese. Kevin Costner. Linda Hunt. What a cast. Silverado. Quite an overlooked Kevin Costner film. Simple Favor, which is anything but. This is a great film. Anna Kendrick, big fan of her. And Blake Lively again, her from The Shallows or whatever it was called. Yes, Blake Lively is she a neighbour or just a friend from an acquaintance? I can't remember which way around it is. But she's an awful person, Blake Lively. And Anna Kendrick, she's kind of like a vlogger, blogger, YouTuber, whatever. And she gets caught up in a murder mystery. Very, very good. Very, very good. Simple Wish. Martin Short is in that. Sin City. This would have been good in 3D. I love this film. I think it's really good. Love the style. And but you got the second one. I've not even seen it yet. Sin City, Dame to Kill For. Sin City 2. Indicator series. This came as a box set, but I believe now I'll just show them all together. I've got a box out there. They're going to be released singly, so you get a chance because I think the box set was limited. I'm not sure. Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. I love these old. Grew up with these Saturday morning sort of cinema and TV things. Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. And The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. Love these films. Indicator films. Singing in the Rain, the story of going from silent films to talkies, as they call them. Gene Kelly, Deborah Reynolds, and Donald O'Connor. Just brilliant choreography and just a real feel-good film. Gene Kelly knocks out the park there. Single Man, Colin Firth. Single Shot is quite a slow burn one. This one, Sam Rockwell, like Sam Rockwell, William H Macy, Jason Isaacs, who was in the Harry Potter franchise, but quite a slow film. Singularity, German release. Have not watched that one. That's got John Cusack in that one. Sinister, only seen the first one, not seen the sequel. Apparently the sequel's better. There's a rat scene or something in there. I don't know. I've not seen it yet. Sister Act 1 and 2. First one's much better than the second one, but they're both pretty good to be fair. Whoopi Goldberg, decent enough release. Sisters and Sisters Brothers. This was part of a trade from Movie Edge. Mike, go and check him out. John C. Reilly, Joaquin Phoenix, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Riz Ahmed. Okay, here we go. Sitter, Jonah Hill. I think he lost all his weight now. This is pretty good comedy. A little bit raunchy in places. Pretty good. 16 Candles. I believe this is getting an Arrow release. It seems pretty odd, but yes, Arrow release. 16 Candles. I think within like a month or so. Molly Ringwald. Sixth Sense. Once you've seen it, kind of spoils it a bit because you can see the ending coming, but it's very good. First watch, amazing, because you ain't going to work out what's going on. It's a great film. And that little kid, Haley, what's it? I can never pronounce his name. Haley Joel Osment, is it? Haley Joel Osment. Such a good actor. Such a good actor. Sixth Day. This is a story of cloning and sort of covering up, and just a very good action Schwarzenegger film. Really futuristic at the time, but probably a little bit dated now with the effects. 16 Blocks. A good Bruce Willis film. He's sort of overweight, and he's kind of assigned a job that they know he's going to fail, but he surprises people. It's very good. He's got to transfer a guy to court. A guy played by Mos Def. Very well. And you got a really good David Morse playing the baddie. Very good. Loved it. Skeleton Key. I enjoyed this film. Kate Hudson, Voodoo, and Magic. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. This would have been a good 3D film. It's kind of like comic book style. Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelina Jolie. It's just sort of set in a sort of a steampunk era of time. Just you have to watch it and you'll really appreciate it. It's kind of very comic booky. Skyfall. A pretty decent film. Again, my wife found that really boring. Fell asleep during it. Good film. Kind of sad, but anyway, Sky High. I thought this was a different film when I bought this. I thought this was Zoom Academy for Superheroes, which probably shouldn't shout about us after that film, but yeah, so I don't know what that's about. It's a Walt Disney film though, so Skyline. I do have the sequel Beyond Skyline. I'm not going to watch it yet, but this is a pretty good. but it does end just as it's getting going. I was sat in the cinema with my brother-in-law. We were watching this, and just as it was about to finish, both looked at each other. It's going to get going now, and it stopped. Yeah, pretty good though. Skyscraper in 3D, absolutely ludicrous, but I love it. Cross between, well, it's kind of like Tower Inferno and Die Hard, I suppose. Everybody said that. Dwayne Johnson, he's hired to sort of oversee the security of a building and sort of sign off on the project. And you got like Kate Mara in this, and is it Kate Mara? No, it's Neve Campbell. Kind of looks like her though. Yes, so he sets off on this building, sort of signs off on this building, but his wife and 2 children are still in the building while he's out, and it's taken over by a bunch of baddies. Let's put it that way. So him and his false leg have got to get back in and save the day. Slapshot, Paul Newman. Slaughterhouse Rules. I still need to watch this. This is Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and a bunch of other people. I can't even see. Yeah, it's about a school, and I think there's a sinkhole that appears on the grounds of the school, and evil is coming out. Trailer looks good. Sleepers, quite a film. This one. Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman, Brad Pitt. I didn't know Brad Pitt was in that. I don't remember Brad Pitt in that. And Jason Patrick. I think that was an American. Yeah, American import. Works fine on UK players. Sleeping Beauty. What kind of message is Disney putting across there? It's all right to go and kiss a woman when she's asleep. I don't know. A complete stranger when she's asleep. I don't know. Well, I don't think they wrote the book, did they? Sleeping with the Enemy. A pretty decent sort of thriller, I would say. Thriller more than I think. Sort of drama thriller maybe. Julia Roberts and her husband that is a bit of a beater. She's trying to get away from him. Sleepers. Oh no, Sleepless. Jamie Foxx. Sleepless in Seattle. Yeah, this is an Australian import. I've seen this film many times. It's quite nice. There's a couple of Christmas elements to it as well. Got to feel sorry for Meg Ryan's boyfriend in this, played by Bill Pullman. But it's pretty good. And a little kid's pretty good in this as well. Rosie O'Donnell, Rob Reiner. Just a really good rom-com, feel-good film. Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. And they did quite a few films together. Sleepy Hollow, a pretty decent Tim Burton film. I'm not a big fan of Tim Burton per se. I do enjoy some of his work though. And Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci. Does she ever age, that girl? Sleepy Hollow. Kind of very gothic look. Slender Man. My wife was looking for this to watch the other day. Is that Chloe Grace Moretz? Doesn't say, but it looks like her. The girl from Kick-Ass. Probably not her though. Yeah, it's all based on the legend, the creepypasta that was Sleuth. Saw this at the cinema. Good film. It's a talkie more than anything else. It's a Michael Caine, Jude Law. It's a remake as well, and Jude Law is having an affair with Michael Caine's wife. In the original, it was Michael Caine that was having an affair with someone else's wife, but I can't remember who played Michael Caine's role in the original, if you get what I mean. That's a import from, I think, Italy. I'm not sure where that's from, but it's all region. Sliding Doors. This is a recent pickup. Story of what if. What if? Those immortal words. What if? Sling Blade. Billy Bob Thornton's in that. Sliver. This is a pretty good film with Sharon Stone and William Baldwin. Slogans. This comes under another title. I think it's we'll be right back after these messages. Bruce Greenwood is in that film. Slow West. Slumdog Millionaire, another Danny Boyle film. Very good. I think this is based on. Is this based on a true story or not? I don't know. I don't know if it is. I've got a feeling it is, but I could be completely wrong. It's about Indians' version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And the fact that they're trying, because the kid's really clever and they think he's fixing it, so they're trying to get out of paying him the money. Smallfoot in 3D. Small Soldiers. Dante, is it Joe Dante? Yeah, Joe Dante directed this. I like this film. It's got a young Kirsten Dunst, and a whole host of other people. Phil Hartman's in this as the neighbour with the big stereo. It's just really good. Trying to think who the kid is. Dennis Leary's in this as well. It's like the corporate bloke who sort of orchestrates the whole thing unbeknownst because he sets deadlines and whatnot. Voice of Tommy Lee Jones. The effects are really good in this as well, and I believe they use a lot of stop animation. Did I read somewhere there was no CGI? I can't believe that's true, but there you go. Next pile. Smokey and the Bandit. Yeah, Burt Reynolds at his best, although Hooper is pretty good in Hooper, but yeah, this is the film that made it. And also Sally Fields and Jackie Gleason's in this, and who played Snowman? I can never remember. Jerry Reed played the Snowman, and you've also got Dom DeLuise as well. Second one, just so fun. I knew these word for word. Me and a friend of mine used to watch these over and over. Love them. Smoking Aces, bunch of assassins duking it out. Ben Affleck, not in it long, but he's good. Smoking Aces 2. Snakes on a Plane. I need to change that. That's really lazy. I need to change that case. I've got loads of extra cases. Pretty fun. Samuel Jackson film. Samuel Jackson. Snatch. Very early role for Jason Statham. He still had a bit of hair there. You got Brad Pitt. You cannot understand a word he's saying. Vinnie Jones in this. Benito del Toro. A whole host of other people. Brad Pitt plays like a boxer with an Irish accent. Snatched. A lot of people hate Amy Schumer. I've only seen her in a couple of things. I like it. I thought she was pretty funny in that. I really did. Goldie Hawn is in there too. They play, I think, mother and daughter, if I remember rightly. Sneakers. This is a great film. It's about a bunch of hackers. There's subplots going on with Ben Kingsley and Robert Redford. You know, earlier days, and sort of pirate company. One went to prison. Ben Kingsley went to prison. Ends up working for the mob. He wants to wipe out all ownership. And it's all about getting the ultimate hacking device that can wipe out all like currency and ownership things, but they're doing it for different reasons. Dan Aykroyd is brilliant in this as like a conspiracy nut. Young River Phoenix, David Strathairn as a blind man. It's just such a good cast, great story. Sneakers, check that out. Snitch, another Dwayne, the Rock Johnson. Snoopy and Charlie Brown, the Peanuts movie. What a title. I think that's just called Peanuts in America, but Snoopy and Charlie Brown, the Peanuts movie. And it's on the spine as well. 3D. I yet to watch that yet. Never really read any of the Snoopy cartoon things or anything like that. So Disney Blu-ray exclusive Snow Dogs. I thank Steve over on Kasha One channel. Go and check him out. I'll try and put a link down below or just text it up there. Snow Dogs. Only get this if you live in America and belong to the Disney Movie Club. So he gets the movies for me and we do trades. Snow White. Yeah, I've not seen this yet. Sigourney Weaver, Sam Neill. That's quite a creepy cover, that is. I believe the original story was quite creepy. Snow White and the Huntsman. And again, another retelling of Snow White. Kristen Stewart, Charlize Theron, and Chris Hemsworth. Charlize Theron. That's a film where Kristen Stewart slept with the director, I think, and broke his marriage up. Snow White, the original, #1 of the Disney exclusives on 19. Was it 38? I think it's 1938. I don't think Disney put dates on their films, but pretty sure it was 1938. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Snowden. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Don't think I've seen that yet. The Snowman. Great animation. Raymond Briggs' story brought to life through the art of animation. Snowman. This is a very good I think, in my opinion, a lot of people didn't like it. Michael Fassbender trying to hunt down serial killer who leaves little snowmen as his like calling card. I enjoyed that. Snowpiercer, great film. I'm not sure if this is Italian release. And I had this like months before it came out on Blu-ray.com, and like there was only one copy of it on eBay, and I got this copy, and it didn't. You know, it was like months before it got released. So I don't know if someone had it to preview or something, but had it ages before. Like it seemed to be sort of in circulation. Anyway, So I Married an Ex-Murderer. Mike Myers, Nancy, what's her name? Nancy Davis? No, Nancy. Oh, that's going to bug me. Nancy Travis from Three Men and a Baby. Social Network. Now, this is the story of the guy who runs Facebook, Zuckerberg, and he is sued. Armie Hammer sues him because he thinks it's his idea, which it was, to be fair. And he played twins that sued him. You also got Gordon Joseph Levitt in this, who sort of was his partner on the birth of Facebook, and it's written by Aaron Sorkin. It's all about the development from its origins to its sort of at its peak, I think. Aaron Sorkin wrote this, and the absolutely perfection, the screenplay is perfection. Solace, this is Anthony Hopkins, Colin Farrell. It's about a psychic trying to hunt down a serial killer. Solitary Man, that's Michael Douglas, Susan Sarandon, and Danny DeVito in that, and Mary Louise Parker as well. Soloist, not the greatest of films, but it's pretty decent. Robert Downey Jr. and Jamie Foxx. Solomon Kane, this is an enjoyable film, I think. James Purfoy, I don't know what his name is. It's a really good action-based film. Some Like It Hot, phenomenal film. Just fantastic writing. You got Marilyn Monroe in this. Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon in this is brilliant. Sugar. Tony Curtis trying to be Archibald Leach. What's his name? Cary Grant when he's on the beach. Does an amazing impersonation of Cary Grant. Very good film. Borrowers. No, sorry, it's not Borrowers. Something Borrowed. Did I say Borrowers? Something Borrowed. Somewhere in Time. This is a good time travel film of sorts. It's time travel in the mind, but it's really good. Seymour, and there's an actual. This is like got cult following, and they have their own. Because I was quite interested in the films. I was looking up online. They had their own like club, appreciation club of this film. I think this is getting another release, if it hasn't already, in the UK. Summersby, this is a really good film too. Richard Gere coming back from war, and is he or isn't he Jodie Foster's like lost husband? There's debate. Is he impersonating him? Again, Steve Cashelwan sent me this one as a trade. Son of Flubber. Actually, Flubber needs a release as well. Thank you very much. Son of God. I think Movie Edge sent me this one. And Son of Rambo. This is a really good. It's got a young Will Poulter in this, and don't know who the other kid he is. But they had to add the W on the end for copyright, because if it was just that, they'd have been sued by the creators of Rambo. So they had to put Rambo, like a child was writing it. Little bit of information for you there. Okay, I'm going to pause it there. Go and get the next. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more piles. Okay, this next film, Split, is part of a trilogy. I popped it in a black case, and I put all 3 in a black case. So you got Unbreakable, and I watched this, and I already had this one on Blu-ray, and this was about to come out. So I watched that, and then about 2 or 3 days later, I watched that one, and then like a week later, this one came out. So I watched them pretty much sort of. Pretty much all together. That's what I'm saying. I love this trilogy. I had no idea when I saw this. I saw this at the cinema and I had no idea this was going to be a part of a trilogy. I don't think M. Night Shyamalan had any idea either at that point. Split, brilliant. James McAvoy, brilliant. and then Glass. I thought this was a great conclusion. A lot of people didn't get on board with this, but I thought it was a really nice conclusion and quite a nice twist as well. So that's them three together. Spooks. Apparently this was a TV show. Never saw a TV show, but I enjoyed the film. Kit Harington. Could have been better, but it was good. You've got Peter Firth in this, and is that Skarsgård? No, Peter Firth and someone else. Spooked. Pretty decent film though. Spotlight. Quite a difficult watch. Story of paedophiles in the church, and being exposed by the Boston Globe. Very, very moving. One of those films that really builds up. Mark Ruffalo, Michael Keaton's in that as well. Liev Schreiber again. Stanley Tucci, John Slattery, and Rachel McAdams. Powerful film. Must watch it. Spring Breakers. Spite. Funny as hell. And someone said recently that I reminded them of the guy, you know, the sleazy guy who's always trying to grope Melissa McCarthy in this. Not Statham. The French, Italian, English bloke. His accent changes. So I remind them of him. Spy Games. Robert Redford, Brad Pitt. Spy Kids. I was given this. I'm never likely to open it. Given it as kind of like a joke because they know I didn't like the film, but it's in my collection now, so it won't ever leave. Spy Next Door. I saw this at the cinema and I went ahead and bought it on Blu-ray as well. Jackie Chan. Yeah, one of those sort of the Pacifier kind of films, you know, The Rock. Why isn't the Pacifier out on Blu-ray? But that is. Spy Who Dumped Me. Mila Kunis. Squid in the Well. Saw this at the cinema. This is a Criterion release, no less. Yeah, quite a decent film. Laura Linney, Jeff Daniels, Jesse Eisenberg, and Owen Klein. St. Elmo's Fire. The Old Brat Pack. Emilio Estevez, Rob Lowe, and the team: Judd Nelson, Ali Sheedy, Demi Moore, Andy McDowell. St. Trinians, fun film. Have I got the original? No, I need to get the original St. Trinians. I think it's called Bells of St. Trinians, and this is kind of like a retelling of that. St. Trinians films were old 50s English films. You had like a host of people in there: Alec Guinness, George Cole, all that sort of lot. It's about a bunch of rowdy schoolgirls from the school St. Trinians, and they are out of control, headed up by this mad head teacher, Mrs. Fritton, played by Rupert Everett. Colin Firth's in this as well, and I'm pretty sure Russell Brand might be in this. Stephen Fry's in this. Toby Jones. It's like a host of English actors. Jodie Whittaker, and then you have the sequel, Legend of Fritton's Gold. In this time you've got David Tennant. Family Feud. It's quite fun. It is a funny film. Check them out. Check them out. St. Vincent, Melissa McCarthy, and Bill Murray. So I bought that. Stag. Stan and Ollie. I'm going to do a movie location for this because it was filmed not far up the road from me, maybe about 15 miles. So I'm going to go and do probably next week a filming location for that. This is a great film. Story of Stan and Ollie. It shows a clip of them in a heyday when they were the highest paid, the highest grossing stars, not highest paid, highest grossing stars of their time. And Hal Roach was like in control of them, and he was like only giving them minimum for what they were. Compared to what they were earning, and it takes you through their career and the decline of their career when they had to go on tour of the UK, but they were met with applause and everything because they're so loved. Lauren Hardy is so well loved and played to perfection by Steve Coogan and John C. Reilly. You will not believe that is not Stan Ollie. Just lovely, lovely film. Stand By Me, classic. Must be watched. Coming of age drama. Stand Up Guys. Yeah, Stand Up Guys. This is called Star Chamber. Now, they did this story the other day on a TV show called NCIS, and it's a story of a bunch of judges not happy with the system, so they decide they're going to kill people themselves that deserve to be killed, like murders and rapists and things like that. Good film. Michael Douglas, German release. Star Chamber. That's what it's called. Stardust. Love this film. Robert De Niro as the cross-dressing pirate, no less. Michelle Pfeiffer as the witch. Michelle Pfeiffer. Claire Danes as the love interest, and like an, I'd say like an angel, isn't she? Is she an angel? She comes in on a shooting star, or is she just a star? I don't know. She's Stardust. Who plays the kid? Charlie Cox? Maybe Charlie Cox. But it's great. And you've got Peter O'Toole in this. You've also got, I think, Mark Williams, who was in the Harry Potter films. He plays, oddly enough, a goat. Ricky Gervais. Just great cast. It's a great story. It's a really good story. Check that one out. Stargate. I'm pretty sure they went back in because I had this on DVD. You can see the strings. I mean, come on. I mean, Star Wars has been made way before this, and you could see the strings on the spaceships. And I'm pretty sure in this version it's taken out because I couldn't see the strings on on these. So it's a really good Kurt Russell film, James Spade, and they create like this. Well, there's a TV show after it. They create a Stargate, which is like a wormhole that goes to other worlds, and on the other worlds there's pyramids because obviously the Egyptians were influenced by aliens. Bit of conspiracy theory going on there, and it's all about them dealing with advanced technology. Star is Born, James Mason, Judy Garland. I haven't seen this for years and years. Star is Born, Streisand, Chris Christopherson. And the new Star is Born. I've not seen this one. I've seen the other two, but I've not seen this one yet. Need to watch this. Unfortunately, I know the big spoiler. I watched a video and someone told me the spoiler. But there you go. I won't spoil it for you, but I need to watch that one. Starman, Jeff Bridges, Karen Allen. Karen Allen from Indiana Jones. Starsky and Hutch. This is quite a fun film. I think they did this pretty well. My brother-in-law doesn't like this because it's more of a comedy, and Starsky and Hutch wasn't a comedy as a TV show. I didn't think it was anyway. I thought it was kind of a gritty cop show, but it's done more of a comedy. I think they cast it well as Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. I think they did a good job there. Starters for 10. This is, I think, James McAvoy's first film. Okay, we're into Star Wars, Star Trekky territory now. Motion picture. The transfer from DVD to Blu-ray is amazing. It's worth the update. If you have the DVD, upgrade it for the Blu-ray. The difference. It's one of the reasons I changed over to Blu-ray from DVD. Rafa Khan. I'm not a big fan of the second one and Search for Spock, the third one. I like the first one, and I like 4 onwards. I do like second and third, but not as much as the others. Voyage Home. I love this film. I have seen this film so many times. Just a great film. Time travel, slingshot around the sun. Great. Final Frontier. Oh dear. Directed by William Shatner, and to be fair to him, I went to the Star Trek convention. We had the 5 captains there, and William Shatner was giving a speech or talk, and he was saying how much his budget was cut. He wanted smoke machines galore, and he said it ended up so bad with the budget. In the end, all there was a little pipe and a bloke with a cigarette blowing smoke through this pipe to get the effect. So, although Nichelle Nichols should not have done that dance on the dune. No. Undiscovered Country. Christopher Plummer. Brilliant in that. Brilliant. I love that film. Great film. And then we hop into the Next Generation movies. And this is Generations. Not the best film, to be fair. It's just... am I thinking... First Contact now. Yeah, not the best. It's not a bad film, but not the best of the bunch. This was probably the best of the Generation films. First Contact with the Borg, the big Borg cube. Bit of time travel involved. Very good film. That opening sequence on the ball cube when it comes over the tunnel, it's great. Intercom thing. Nemesis. Is this the one with Tom Hardy? I forget. I'm pretty sure Tom Hardy is in this. They're kind of starting to mould into one, but I do like him, to be fair. Yeah. Star Trek Nemesis. Insurrection. You can see why they quit with the Next Generation, because they're not as good, I don't think, as the originals with Kirk. I love the TV show, The Next Generation, but this one again, it's a little bit not quite, you know. And then they reboot, and I think they did a brilliant job with the reboot. J.J. Abrams at the helm, and complete cast restructure. You had Kirk, played by Chris Pine. Who's the Zachary Quinto as Spock? Carl Urban as Bones. He does Bones to a T, just brilliant. Anthony Yelchin, late Anthony Yelchin. Eric Banner's in this. Leonard Nimoy does make an appearance as Spock, to be fair. Bit of a time travel thing as well. Bruce Greenwood is in this. Simon Pegg. Just, that's how Star Trek should be done. And then Into Darkness. Is this the one with Khan? I forget which way they go. Yeah, it was the one with Khan. You've got Alice Eve in this as well, and Benedict Cumberbatch. I like this film. I think it's really good. A lot of people hate that film, but I thought that's really good. And that's in 3D. I don't think the first one's in 3D, but the second and the third one are in 3D. Just check. No, just a standard 2D one there, but that's in 3D. Into Darkness. And then Beyond. This has got the woman from the new Mummy film, I think, and Kingsman, the one with the metal legs. She's in this somewhere. I think she plays the alien, one of the aliens. You got Idris Elba in this. He's pretty good as a villain, I'd say, Idris Elba. And I can't think of the woman's name. That's annoying. But never mind. Star Trek Beyond 3D. Very good. And now we're going to head into Star Wars territory. Phantom Menace. Yes, these are available as a box set, but these ones I made my own covers for, because I don't like box sets. I do not like box sets, so I like a film to have its individual release. Phantom Menace. Yeah, Phantom Menace. These were so good when they first came out. I thought Attack of the Clones, Star Wars 2, and then Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Apparently, Hayden Christensen's going to be at a movie Comic-Con on the 27th, and he's charging £145 for an autograph. Bit far up his own ass, I think. Okay, then we got A New Hope. This is the original ones that came out in the 70s and 80s. To me, these are the best. Yes, A New Hope. Look at that cover while I get a quick sip of water. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Great films. I prefer, at the 6 of those, I prefer 4, 5 and 6, as I think most people would, of a certain generation. And then we have, like, when Disney took over. Yeah, I found it. This came in a great big box with a what's the name, like a hologram on the front, and that was the one I bought. And then I saw this one. It had like a regular 3D Blu-ray cover, so I went for this. I went and I rebought it, and I put the discs together, and they got different picture discs on every one of their discs. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got a 5-disc version of The Force Awakens. Rogue One, and these are all in 3D, these latest Disney films. Rogue One, Star Wars story, so I've got them all under the Star Wars banner. The Last Jedi in 3D, and the latest one, Solo. I'm fine with them keep making Star Wars films. It bothers me not in the least. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, ruining the story. What's your other option? They don't make it. You know. So if you stop moaning about it, or they're going to stop making it. And if you don't like it, then don't watch it. It's quite an easy thing. Let people who want to watch it, watch it. That's the solution. Starship Troopers. Only had the first one. I think the others are rubbish. Paul Verhoeven. I watched this the other day, and I've got to say the effects kind of hold up. It's a good humans versus bugs shoot 'em up. Staten Island. State of Play. A good political thriller, this one. Very good. Quite uneasy in places. Yeah, very good. Ben Affleck as a politician and Russell Crowe as an investigative journalist. Stealth. Josh Lucas, Jessica Biel and Jamie Foxx in that one. Steamboy. This is a really good manga film. Sort of steampunky type. You've got the voices of Patrick Stewart in this. It's just a really good sort of it's just a good story, great animation. That's all I'm going to say about it. Steampunk. If you like steampunk, go for that one. Steve Jobs. This is Michael Fassbender, Kate Winslet, Seth Rogen, Jeff Daniels, from the director Danny Boyle and screenwriter Aaron Sorkin. And with all that cast, that direction and that screenplay, I still preferred the Ashton Kutcher one. This is a good film. I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying the other one is better. I really like the other one. I like this one too. But I prefer the other one. That Steve Jobs was an absolute arse, I tell you. Stigmata. This is a good horror film. You have Gabriel Byrne in this. Patricia Arquette as well. The Sting. I have 2 copies of this, which I didn't know. So I might keep that one. Give that one away. Stir of Echoes. That's a good film. Kevin Bacon. I'm not a big fan of Kevin Bacon. That needs a new case. But that's a decent film. Stir of Echoes. Quite creepy in places as well. Stoker. Nicole Kidman film, that one. Stolen. Nicolas Cage. Stone. This is Edward Norton, Robert De Niro. I've not seen that one. I don't think I've seen that one. Stonehurst Asylum. Stop, or My Mum Will Shoot. Oh, Stella Getty. What were you thinking, Sylvester Stallone? He did this and another film called Oscar. I think Oscar's out in the States, region locked. But I did kind of like Oscar. Oscar was like a farce. This is just... Oh. This is quite cringy to watch. Wow, that's really precise. It's 83 minutes and 29 seconds. That is really precise. I've never seen that on a running time before. Region B locked, apparently. Although, why not be? Yeah. Stella Getty plays Stallone's mum, hired cop. Not the best film. Storage 24. Noel Clarke in that one. Stormbreaker. Alex Rider and Stormbreaker. This is supposed to be a series of films, and it just never happened. Yeah, it's a shame because it's a good film. This is good. I saw that at the cinema. Good film. Story of Us. Bruce Willis. Universal release. Quite a slow burn. It's a Robin Reiner film, and it's all about a relationship, marriage over the years. Straight Talk. Dolly Parton. Movie Edge sent me that. Thank you, Mike. Strange Brew. I bought this on Best Buy. I don't know how much or why I bought it. Rick Moranis. That's what I'm reading on the front, and there he is. That's why I bought it. Rick Moranis. Straight Out of Compton. Strange Days. I had this. I think I had this on a steelbook, but I don't like steelbooks, so I rebought it as just a standard release. I think it's got a UK release now. This was from Germany, I believe. Great film. Bit dated now because it's set on New Year's Eve 1999, and that was set in the future at that point. I think Catherine Bigelow, yeah, Cameron's wife, James Cameron's ex-wife, directed that. It's really good, that film. Ralph Fiennes. Stranger Than Fiction, that is a new case. Strangers on the Train, great Hitchcock film. The Throw Mama from the Train uses this concept. Very good. Stratton, yeah, Dominic Cooper as Stratton. It's not a bad action film. Dominic Cooper. Straw Dogs. This is not the original. The original one has Dustin Hoffman, but that's not a bad remake. Street Cat Named Bob. Street Kings. This is a really good action corrupt cop story. Keanu Reeves, an unusual role for him. He plays a corrupt cop. Forrest Whitaker, Hugh Laurie investigating Keanu Reeves. Got Chris Evans in this. Just a good gritty drama. Streetcar Named Desire. Marlon Brando, Vivian Leigh. This is number 31 from 1951 of the H&P Premium Collection. Striking Distance. I think this is a good Bruce Willis film. It's got Sarah Jessica Parker in this, Tom Sizemore. You've also got John Malone, I think, as a copper. Just a really good sort of murder mystery. Stripes. This is a US version, and it's longer than the UK version. I've seen this a dozen times on days of VHS and on TV and on DVD and whatnot. But recently I saw the American version, and it's a lot different. There's a lot of cuts that have been made in the UK one. This is region 3. Bill Murray at his best. John Candy is in this as well, and Harold Ramis as well. Striptease, Demi Moore. Uncut international version, that one. Stronger with Jake Gyllenhaal. Strongest Man in the World, Kasha One sent me this as a trade. Thank you, Steve. The old Disney, I love these classics. Look at that. It's Kurt Russell, leaning on the lamppost. Don't know his own strength. Strongest Man in the World. Stuart Little. I like that film. Got the cat Snowball, voiced by Dom DeLuise. A little Jonathan Lipnicki, Hugh Laurie, Gina Davis. Hugh Laurie and Gina Davis. That's an odd couple. Voice of the Mouse, Stuart Little was Michael J. Fox. Sequel's just good. The third one I think they released was animated. Don't know why I went down that route. Submarine, a little indie film. Submergence, this was a trade I did with Magnus. Thank you, Magnus. Submergence. James McAvoy, Alicia Vikander. Suburbicon. Matt Damon. Sucker Punch. I did have this, and then I realised that there was an extended version, so I had to go and get that. I don't know how much it is extended. That I didn't look into, but this would make a really good 3D film. And whoever says it's a crap film is talking out their backside, because the visuals and the story are excellent. Sudden Impact, a good Clint Eastwood film. I don't know if he's playing. Yes, he is. Harry Callahan in that one. Suffragettes. It's quite a flat film, colour-wise. It's a good film story-wise, but just it needed a little. I don't know. It just seems a bit washed out. Kerry Mulligan's in this. Helena Bonham Carter, Brendan Gleeson, Anne-Marie Duff, and Meryl Streep. It's just there's something lacking in it. It's a good film, just something lacking in it. Sugar. Don't know how to say it like that. Sugarland Express, Goldie Hawn, Sugar Mountain. Do you know I've seen this? I can't remember a thing about it. This is Jason Momoa. Don't remember a thing about it. I know I've seen it though. But there you go. Not that memorable, obviously. Suicide Squad. Again, people moaning about this. I thought this was a good movie. 3D was really good. I thought the cast was really good. Will Smith, Jared Leto, Margot Robbie, Viola Davis, Joel Kinnaman. I thought it was a good film. I don't know what people's problem was with it. I thought the Joker was really good. Harley Quinn, Deadshot, or whatever his name was. I don't know. I don't know why people didn't like it. Sully, story of the miracle on the Hudson of Captain Sully Sullenberger, who landed the plane. It was on the news all over the world. Landed this plane on the Hudson. It's all about a story about that, and apparently it's not overly true. It's just based on a true story. Great performance by Tom Hanks there. Summer in February. Summer of Sam. This is such a good film. Spike Lee film. John Leguizamo. Is that how you say his name? Leguizamo. Adrian Brody, and it's a story of the serial killer Sam in New York. I think it was in the 70s, mid 70s, 77, something like that, and about the paranoia that went on around that time, the gangs and the blackouts, and the mind of Sam, you know, with the talk, he thought his dog was talking to him. Just a good film, good film. That is an import from Italy, I believe. I think it's Italy. It's Region B Lock though. Don't know if it's out in the States. Sum of All Fears. This is again a Tom Clancy film. Jack Ryan. This time Jack Ryan is played by Ben Affleck. And Jack Ryan has been played by a lot of people. Sunset Boulevard. Sunshine. Another Danny Boyle film. I think I've got most of his films. They had an expert, Brian Cox, the scientist guy, who was advising them on this film, sound and whatnot in space, and obviously they're going up close to the sun, what filters you would need, and all this, that, and the other. And he said that you wouldn't actually hear the sun burning in space, but they had to put it in because they tested it with audiences, and it didn't sound right with this absence of sound. It's a great film. It's not. It goes in a different direction than you probably think. I think Chris Evans is in this as well as Cillian Murphy, Benedict Wong, and a few other people. But it's Rose Byrne. It's a good film. It's a good film. It's scientific. There's a bit of a paranoia going on. Sunshine Cleaning, about a couple of women that start up a cleaning company of crime scenes. Let's pause it there and get on to the last pile. And here we go, last pile. Sunshine on the Leaf, an English musical. Super. Yeah, when they're going to release that film, The Super, with what's his name? Joe Pesci. That's a really good film. Anyway, Super. This is Rainn Wilson. Rainn Wilson with his superpowers. Ellen Page, Kevin Bacon's in that. This is a superb film. Set in like is it 70s or 80s? I'm pretty sure it's 80s, late 70s. Gone on fashions late 70s, but I'm pretty sure it's the 80s. Following a bunch of kids. It's kind of like the Goonies kind of kids, or the latest one, Stranger Things. Kind of Stranger Things really. What happens because they're filming a scene like a zombie film, and because they're obsessed with film, and a train goes by and it derails, and there's something being carried on the train by the military. It gets out, terrorizes the town. It's a really good film, good sci-fi, old-fashioned, hark back to like E.T. sort of great movie. Produced by Spielberg and directed by J.J. Abrams. Super Mario Brothers. Moving on. Super Troopers. Super Bad. Love this film. Absolutely love this film. Superman. I did have the box set. I gave it to I think Culture. I think I sent it to Culture Freak, and I rebought them because I wanted them in single cases. They only came as a box set in the UK. Superman the movie, and then Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. So yeah, I like them in individual cases. And Superman 3. A lot of people hate this. It's a Richard Pryor is in this, and he sort of builds a supercomputer sort of thing, and I think it's a good film. I do. And then you've got probably the weakest, the Quest for Peace. So they all go together. The Quest for Peace, where they build that sort of Nuclear Man. I think is that what he's called? Yeah, it's actually called Nuclear Man, played by Mark Pillow. They take a hair from that's on display, holding up a rock from some museum of Superman. Splice it, take the DNA, I take, or gene out of it, and he makes Nuclear Man, Gene Hackman's character. Yeah. The Quest for Peace. There you go. And then you got the reboot, one of the reboots, first reboot. Brandon Roth. I thought he played this really well. I'm surprised they didn't do another one. Bryan Singer. You've got this time Lex Luthor, played by what's his name? Kevin Spacey, a bold Kevin Spacey. He plays it pretty good, to be fair. The material he's given. James Marsden's in this. Frank Langella, Eva Marie Saint, Sam Huntington, Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane, and Brandon Roth. Brandon Roth, I thought he did a good job. The scene where he's taking the plane and you see the ripples because he's like pushing against it. That's good. When he's on top of the roof getting shot at by that like 50 caliber machine gun thing, and he takes the bullet in the eye. That's good. Don't know what people's problem with it. Support your local sheriff. James Garner and Walter Brennan. That's that one. I think that's on sale now in HMV. Surrogates. I think this is a decent Bruce Willis film. Up there, I think. It's about a bunch of people now that live, well, everybody on Earth is living their life through a surrogate like robot. The robot gets up and goes out, and you're experiencing it through like a headset. And there's apparently it's the safest way to live. Nobody's ever been killed, and but that's about to change. Very good film. Very good. The effects are still good in that. Surveillance. Surviving Christmas. Hated this one when I first watched it. Hated it, and give it a rewatch of knowing how bad it was. I really enjoyed it the second time around. Ben Affleck, James Gandolfini. Ben Affleck's quite rich, and he wants to like adopt this family, this dysfunctional family at Christmas, go and live with them, and have the full Christmas experience. Survivor. Mila Jovovich and Pierce Brosnan. Suspicion. This is Cary Grant, and it's number 78 from 1941 of the HMV Premium line, a Hitchcock film, that is. Swallows and Amazons, which is a remake of Swallows and Amazons. Rafe Spall. Rafe Spall in this, he was the baddie in the new Jurassic World film. SWAT, decent film I thought. Again, this was based off the TV show SWAT. Special Weapons and Tactics, Colin Firth, Michelle Rodriguez, LL Cool J and Samuel Jackson in that one. Swept Away, Maggie Donna. I think that's a Guy Ritchie film, isn't it? Yeah, probably where they met. Sweeney, you ever seen a TV show called Top Gear, where they were responsible for one of the scenes in this? You can't unsee it once you've seen it. But this is a phenomenal film. Well, not phenomenal, but it's a good action film. But Ray Winston getting off with Hattie Atwell, no, that ain't ever gonna happen. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, a good horror musical. Again, Tim Burton teaming up with Johnny Depp and his living wife at the time. Not Johnny Depp's living wife, but Tim Burton's living wife, Helena Bonham Carter. The late Alan Rickman. Timothy Spall. Just a great cast. Great songs in this as well. I think you had Sacha Baron Cohen in this. Sweet Country. Looks like a western, but it's set in Australia, Aboriginal. And yeah, there you go. That's that one. Not American Western, and it's got Brian Brown in there from the FX films. Sweet Home Alabama. I don't know if it's got a UK release. This was Australian release. Good film. Good Romy-Comy with Reese Witherspoon. Swing Vote. This is all comes down to the wire on the next president. It comes down to one vote. Because it's a tie right across the board, and the one vote that's left is Kevin Costner's. So these two candidates, Dennis Hopper, Stanley Tucci, Kelsey Grammer, Nathan Lane's in this, Paula Patton. I think it's Kelsey Grammer and Dennis Hopper. They've got to try and persuade Kevin Costner to vote for either one. That's a German release. Swiss Army Man. This is an odd film. Daniel Radcliffe is dead in this from the off, and Paul Dano is using him as everything, like shelter, company, a life raft. Uses his wind even. He's making him fart for a purpose, you know, to light the fires and stuff. And kill things. It's a really odd, strange film. Just unbelievably odd. Swiss Family Robinson. This is another one of the Disney Movie Club exclusives. Love this film. One of my favourite of the Disney Movie Club exclusive. My actual favourite is on its way. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Cheers, Steve. Really appreciate you doing this. Swiss Family Robinson. Great movie that is. Read the book. The book. How that book is still in circulation. It's just, this family kill everything on sight. The kids kill everything. They kill whales, dolphins, armadillos, birds, everything that moves. This family kill in the book and eat. The Switch. This is not what it seems. It's a rental copy. It's not what it seems. It's not an all-out comedy like Comedy of the Year's. Coolest rom-com of the year. No, it isn't. It's funny, but it's not the coolest comedy of the year. Sword in the Stone, number 18, a good old classic from the Disney canon. I like that film. Still Need the Black Cauldron. Swordfish, quite a decent film. Hugh Jackman, John Travolta, Don Cheadle, and Halle Berry. It's a good film. It's a good film. Good action film. Sort of heisty film. Synchronicity. I don't know. I've not seen this one yet. This has what's his name? Michael Ironside. Chester from Top Gun. And the last, thank goodness, is Syriana. George Clooney, Matt Damon, Jeffrey Wright. The nail pulling scene in this film. Ooh, I can't watch this film because of that. When they pull his nails out, is torture. But there you go. It's a good watch, but just for that scene, I have to avoid that scene. That was the S's. Thank you if you stayed right to the end. If you didn't, then you gave it a go, and I appreciate your efforts. Give it a thumbs up if you would, because this has taken me hours to do, and it's going to take me hours and hours to edit and probably correct mistakes and whatnot. So thank you very much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you would. Subscribe if you haven't. It's all free. T's are next. There's quite a few T's, not as near as many as the S's, but quite a few nonetheless. Thanks. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.